Right, we are back. So most of you have already seen the previous two videos where we had the crackle effect with our resin. Now, I did wonder, could we get a similar effect with just using alcohol instead of any colour to get a similar effect? So what I'm going to show you now is very similar to, if you remember, there's the technique where you lay like a cling film, or I've done it with a clear rubber glove over your resin and cure it and then peel that away, and you're left with this textured, like a ripply effect on your resin. This does pretty much exactly the same thing, but you don't have to worry about the cling film and it sticking to your resin, etc. Let me show you. So we are using the Resin Rockers clear hard type. Again, all links are always in the description box below with discount codes. I'm just going to top up these two oval shapes here, and I'll probably do a heart at the same time. Again, 99.9% isopropyl. I don't know if it will work with any different percentages. You will have to test. This is probably the fastest and the easiest resin art technique you'll ever come across. All I need to do to get this effect is drop my isopropyl on the back, probably about 7 drops, and then cure it under my lamp. And again, I've got this beast. Don't know whether it's going to make a difference, but you definitely want to mask up, because alcohol fumes and the fumes from the resin, just make sure you're protected. So you can see it's cured with that textured effect. Now this is optional. I'm only going to do this on one. I'm using the Vallejo Frost Effects. You've seen me use this lots on the channel. It is incredible stuff, but I'm only going to do it on one. So where this says just finished curing, they're still quite warm. So by adding a small amount, or however much you want, it depends on how many crystals you want, just apply a thin layer to the resin, and what's going to happen is that heat is going to speed up that crystallizing process. So at any moment now, hoping I can catch it in the right light, just on this one, that should begin to crystallize. There you go. See that? It is so cool. Now the longer you leave it, it can grow more crystals, or you could go with some more over the top. It's entirely up to you. I just like using this every now and again for a different kind of effect within the resin art. Again, I'm only going to do it in that one. Should begin to do the same thing again. There it goes. Don't know if you can see it properly on the camera. So with the others, we can just take them all out. Again, you can see that textured effect. Very, very similar to the cling film technique. So for the next step, I'm just going to be using my nail powders. Again, you've seen me use these loads. Most of you have probably already got those. For anyone using the Vallejo, just make sure it is definitely dry before you dust it. What I do is I've made some others with different colour backgrounds, etc., different colours, and I'll show you those also at the end. Again, all you do is pick the colour you want and just dust the back. Mix it up a bit if you want, add different colours, do whatever you like. You see the way those crystals have grown even more now. So you can see the colours that I've dusted, kind of mix things up. Can't even remember what colours I used. I think I used about 4 different colour powders on this one. The colours are really going to pop when we add the background. White or black, up to you. But for these ones, I'm going in with a white on these two and a black. I might try something different with this one. I've tried it once before and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. But I'm going to mix up some white first. I've got some black at hand already mixed. And for that white, I'm just using some of my homemade white pigment paste. Not too much. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks. And to any new subs, thank you very, very much. So I'm just going to add my white to these two, just take it all the way to the edges. Now, to prevent any mishaps, I'm going to cure those two before I start before I start this last one. Okay, I really don't know if this is going to work, especially with the frost paint, but we're going to find out. I'm applying a very thin layer of white all over the back of this piece, and then I'm going to top it up with my black. Hopefully we will get a really strange ghostly look to the piece. You can see there just how thin that is because some of the crystals are showing through, and cure it. Now my worry is, because I've not tried it with the frost paint, is that the white would have taken away the frost paint completely, but hopefully not. Hopefully the powders have covered them enough. So this is just some black mica powder in with my UV resin. I'm just going to give the back a final coat with this. And again, a final cure. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. So I've been really good, I haven't looked at these. I've kept them face down. So let's have a look. It is absolutely insane, guys. Look at that. The texture from the alcohol really does give realistic stone look to them. And the white with that colour. See, I posted a video on a different platform and somebody said, oh, it's almost holographic. And it totally is. I need to buff this one up though, because my mould was a little bit tacky. That is crazy. That's probably the best one out of all of the others that I've made, actually. But you might think differently. Look at that. It's almost like mountains, and the colour is so intense. It is crazy. I do agree, it does actually look like it's holographic, and that flash is insane. It's almost like a real stone. What I need to try is like sanding the surface down, because what that will do is bounce the light around inside better, so it will look like a real moonstone even. So this one here is an example. I'm wearing it. Is an opal effect that I've done recently, and I sanded that down also, and it captures the light inside, gives it a more of a natural stone effect. So the last one, what I'll do is I'll show you the piece that I was trying to get it to do this. Watch when I turn this to the side, it whites out. It's like a ghost. See, it appears and then disappears. Like an optical illusion. It's crazy. If I've got it on this one, it's going to be really, really cool. I'm not holding my hopes up though, because I used the Vallejo. Let me just show you some of the other ones. These are with black backgrounds. I definitely prefer the white backgrounds on this one. I think I might have done the same thing with the black and the white on this one as well, I think. No, I went in with a black and then a white. So I did it in reverse. But when I applied the nail powders, what I used was my stick, and I pushed my stick and scratched some of the powder off in the cracks to make them more prominent. So you can see, it's wiped away some of that powder before I added my backings. This one was another one that I did with a white. And this one was one I did with the Vallejo and just a black background. Really, really cool. Did we get it on this one though? We are about to find out. It's crazy. It hasn't really got the ghostly white that I can see, but it still looks real. That is super cool. Not as flashy, but more natural looking, I think. But by far, I don't think you can beat the white backgrounds on these. and you know me with my black backgrounds. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's only a quick one. I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.